No, I cannot make this video because I have to work out. Why should I be talking to the camera when I should be training? So today's video, I want to talk about the things that are good for me that I've taken too far. And thank God for metacognition, this ability to, once I go into an extreme, whether it be watches or whatever, to back off and go, wait a minute, we've got to reappraise the situation. Thank God for metacognition. Now, I think that'll be the title of today's video. So, a week ago, I was talking to one of my best friends. His name's Tom Hazel. He is a Hall of Fame wrestler, and he's 10 years older than I am. I'll be 62 in a week. He's 72. And I'm talking to him on the phone, and I say to him, I don't know what's going on, man. I'm 62, and I'm more obsessed with working out. I work out with kettlebells in my garage for an hour every day. I'm more obsessed with working out today than I've ever been in my life. I don't even, it's like this drive is intense. And he says, I'm the same way. I'm 72 and I go to the gym every day. It's weird, like imprinting from when we were young. I mean, he's been wrestling since he was in high school, and now he works out at the gym every day. I was an Olympic weightlifter when I was 12, and I got to thank my junior high school coach, Lou Kruk. He is someone who had a huge influence on me. He got me into Olympic weightlifting, which taught me discipline and self-confidence and self-esteem and goals. Lou Kruk never settled for mediocrity. And he was a very decent person. He was against bullying people. He was against showing off. He was all about hard work and discipline, a huge influence on my life. And my mother knew I was a dedicated weightlifter. And on my 14th birthday, she wanted to show her support for my vocation, so she got me a book called Pumping Iron. Pumping Iron. And she didn't know. This was a bodybuilding book of photographs. And you know, I thanked her and I told her, look, man, this isn't a weightlifting book. And I looked at the photographs, and it was cool, you know, but you have to realize, at the time, the rock star of my life was this Russian weightlifter, Vasily Alexia. He was about 350 pounds. He was breaking all the records for the clean and jerk and the snatch. And he was my rock star, and that gave me chills. And so the book Pumping Iron didn't really change me that much. I just looked at it kind of like a curiosity. But then my father took me to see the movie Pumping Iron in 1977. And I was, you know, I was just, what, 15 years old? And that changed me. I mean, Arnold, he had this charisma and this sense of humor. And I believe Arnold, just the sheer force of his personality, he, more than anyone, popularized bodybuilding. Bodybuilding was this small thing. It was looked upon as a freak show. And it was kind of a double-edged sword, because I think Arnold, more than anyone, and Arnold had a huge influence on me too, because then I read all of his books, including his biography. And like Lou Kruk, he inspired me to discipline. But you see, Arnold, he also brought people to the gym. People started going to the gym because of him, but also it was a time of body dysmorphia, where, you know, we all wanted to look like Arnold. I mean, I had my heroes: Arnold, Frank Zane, Sergio Oliva, Mike Mentzner, Robbie Robinson. These are the great, Tom Platz. These are the bodybuilders. Serge Nobret. These are the bodybuilders that really influenced me. And I mean, who can look like that? That's pretty rare genetics to be able to look like that. But I wanted to look like that, and had a certain amount of body dysmorphia, and it came to the point where I had to make a decision if I was going to go to the extra level. And I didn't want to take steroids. I didn't want to go down that road, and I'm glad I did, obviously, because hundreds and hundreds of bodybuilders have died since the 1970s of steroids and you know, performance-enhancing drugs. Doing it at the extreme. I'm glad Arnold's still alive. I know he's 77, but I mean, hundreds of people died, or they had just horrible side effects from steroids. I'm glad I didn't go down that road. body dysmorphia. I think we all have some body dysmorphia to some degree. But that was, you know, another type of dysmorphia we had in the 70s. And I can still smell the Hawaiian tropical suntan oil. We didn't know anything about skin cancer back then. And in the 70s, the more tan you were, it didn't matter if you were a bodybuilder or not, you were obsessed with getting a tan. And I would call this tanning dysmorphia. And we didn't know anything about skin cancer. We're slathering on you know, Hawaiian tropical tanning oil, and I still remember that coconut smell, and it reminds me of the temptations of the flesh, and going to the beach and just being in a state of carnality. It was crazy, and it's kind of like a Pavlovian response. And I mean, I took tanning to an extreme. I remember one day I tanned like Coal Canyon Lake for like 8 hours, and I was glowing like orange radiation, incandescent orange red face, and I went to a Flock of Seagulls concert in Palo Alto, 1981. I mean, I looked like a freak. I don't think I ever tanned like that again. I think Metacognition said, dude, this is way too extreme. You've gone way too far with the tanning. And so I did this with watches, man. I'm wearing a beautiful 44 millimeter watch right now, Seiko MM300. I used to wear clocks on my wrist. A 52 millimeter watch was considered mid-size. He's wearing a mid-size watch, ladies and gentlemen. It was ridiculous. And I had too many watches. I had 65 watches, about 6 watch boxes full of them, and then my Metacognition just said, dude, back off. Took me almost a year to sell those watches, and I lost a lot of money, man. I took a haircut. He took a haircut, money loss. But I was so happy after I did it. And I am a watch addict, and I tend to be extreme, but every time I'm tempted by a watch, I think of the misery of my wrist rotation anxiety. The man has wrist rotation anxiety. He needs to stop it. And so you know, I'm down to 6 watches. I really shouldn't buy anything else. So I got Lou Kruk, Arnold were huge influences on me. And there's another huge influence on me in the last 10 years, Pavel Tsatsouline. He's Belarusian, and he's a kettlebell trainer, and he wrote a book called Simple and Sinister, and he has a new book, Kettlebell Axe. Huge influence on me. He's all about you remain calm when you work out. You approach your workout more like a practice. You go for the purity of the form rather than this manic, extreme lactic acid buildup workout. He wants you to go about 80% of your failure, and I love his spirit, I love his tone, I love his approach to kettlebell training, and I'm looking forward to doing kettlebell training right now. I'm not going to dread going into the garage and doing some hellacious workout. It's more of therapy, man. It's a real privilege to still be able to work out at 62. Who knows how long the human body can hold up with exercise? You do it until you can't do it, man. You got to choose to live life to your fullest. So I'm grateful for the great Pavel Tsatsouline, and I'm grateful for Arnold. He was a huge influence on me, and I go all the way back to Lou Kruk. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got today. Tell me what you think. I'm working out. Until next time, I'm out.